smiling rapists who dumped girl in the street after attack jailed for 27 years. 3 callous sexual predators who gang raped a university student in a car after a night out before dumping her in the street have been jailed for over 27 years. Sali Amet, 23, Omer Engin, 24, and Salih Altun, 25 of East Street in Faversham, met the 19-year-old student in the Cuban bar before escorting the visibly intoxicated victim to Holman's Meadow car park. The 3 men unleashed a sickening 50-minute ordeal on their victim, raping her 4 times and dumping her in the street. Judge Heather Norton, sentencing, described the trio as callous individuals who preyed on an extremely vulnerable victim. Judge Norton said, she recalls it as painful. She was continually saying no. When the 3 of you were finished, you walked her back to the city center and you left her. The court heard how the teenager was pre-drinking with her friends on the evening of April 13 when she arrived at the Cuban around 9:45 p.m. The 3 men, who were all described to be regulars at the bar, arrived just before midnight where Amet and Altun left around an hour later with the victim. CCTV footage shows the girl, who was 2.5 times the drink-drive limit, staggering through the streets while she was being held up by the 2 men before arriving at Holman's Meadow car park. It was there she was raped by the 2 men, who then returned to the Cuban to get 24-year-old fish and chip shop owner Engin. The men were then seen to be visibly grinning on CCTV after they abandoned the girl by Carlos's cafe around 2:27 am. The victim then described collapsing near Superdrug in tears before she met with her friends again near the Cuban. Describing the moments leading up to the attack, the victim said, "I believe we were just walking. I don't know who they were. I would not have been able to walk myself. All I remember is they were talking together, they weren't speaking in English." The trio were then arrested a week later after doorstaff from the Cuban told police they were expected to return the following Thursday after the attack. Judge Heather Norton added, "You all stated you weren't drunk. You were sober." Altun, the eldest of the 3 men, said in a statement read out by his barrister Ben Walker-Nolan that he was ashamed of the attack. He said, "I'm embarrassed for my family that I took advantage of this girl. I have sisters and I know how I would feel if this happened to them." Mr. Walker-Nolan, who also defended married father of 2 Sali Amet, said he was very sorry for his actions. Phil Rowley, defending Omer Engin, said, he recognizes his conduct was deplorable. He is deeply remorseful. Investigating officer Det Sergeant Matt Banks said, "These 3 men preyed upon a vulnerable woman and then took advantage of her in the worst possible way. They separated her from her friend during the early hours of the morning with a plan to fulfill their own depraved sexual desires. I would also like to thank the victim for her bravery, who has suffered a great deal following this ordeal. It has had a profound effect on her and her family. The support she has given us has helped bring these offenders to justice and I'm pleased to see they'll serve lengthy sentences as a result of what they did." Altun, who admitted to 2 charges of rape, was jailed for 9 years and 9 months. Amet and Engin were jailed for 9 years each. If you have a story for our news team, email us at webnews@metro.co.uk. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.